Let's bring in Jeff Passan, ESPN Baseball Insider. I'm going to be positive today, Jeff. I'm going to say only nice things about baseball. Can you make the same guarantee?
I'm trying to be positive right now because after 3 months of reporting on something that absolutely did not need to happen, there's a schedule that's set. There are players saying that they're going to go to spring training on July 1st, and everything is rainbows and sprinkles. So I would love to believe that, but there's this there's this whole COVID thing too. And it scares me that we've gotten to this point now and that all of it can be blown up like that.
We call you the debunker here.
Do you?
Whenever there's news, myself and the Danettes, we call you the debunker because it's usually like, hey, this news came out. What did Passan say? Oh, he debunked it. So, congratulations, you're the debunker.
There's Mike Salk and Brock Hewart are great radio hosts up in Seattle. And they have a theme song for me every time I come on. It's a little jingle, and it goes, Jeff Passan, the wet blanket, raining on parades, harsh and buzzes all day. And so, yeah, you're not the first to say that.
Okay, I am fascinated by first base when the players come back. If I get to first base and there's a first baseman there, it's like me with a date in high school. I got to first base. So I got to first base. Now, what is the social distancing going? How do they enforce that if I don't want to take too far of a lead off?
They don't, and that is there's that. There is the catcher and the batter. Like there are places on the baseball field where people are just going to be close to one another, and that is a reality with which the sport has to deal. Baseball, in terms of team sports, is probably the friendliest in terms of just natural social distancing. But there are absolutely elements. Tag plays,
Yeah.
guys going and stealing second. Somebody is going to be running over there and is going to be kicking up dirt and is going to take his glove and is going to swipe it wherever that player is. It may be a glove into which he coughed, hitting someone's face. That's just the reality of the situation, Dan. And if you're going to bring back baseball, you have to live with these, I would term them small risks. I don't think that being outside in most stadiums and standing within a couple of feet of a player is going to necessarily pass an infection back and forth. And you could have a first base situation where you just have a guy playing off a little bit more, playing behind the back or playing in bunt situations or trying to have the infield in. Like there are scenarios where the guys are not going to be close to each other. There are also scenarios where the guys are going to be close to one another.
All right. It's been so long since we've actually talked baseball because it's been, back and forth volleying these financial terms here. But now that that's sort of settled for a little while here, explain what the divisions are going to look at. And then let's actually start handicapping. I'm positive here. I'm being positive. Let's start handicapping the teams to beat, once we start to play.
I was going to say, did you see your old partner on the Big Show giving the percentage chance of the World Series happening this year at a big fat 0?
Oberman says there's no World Series this year?
None.
He can out wet blanket you any day. Oberman is on the Mount Rushmore of wet blankets. So, okay, let's assume.
So by division, let's just go through the schedule.
Okay.
60 games. 40 of them are going to be against divisional opponents. While the schedule is not out yet, I believe it's going to be a 1 4-game series and a pair of 3-game series. Could also be 2 5-game series just to cut down on travel. I don't think that's the case, though. There are also 20 interleague games against teams in your geographical area, meaning the NL East is playing the AL East, Central playing the Central, West playing the West. At the end of that, whoever is in first place goes to the playoffs. You have 2 wild card teams because there are no expanded playoffs. It's the same format as last year. And at that point, I have no idea if they're going to go to a bubble for the playoffs, if they're going to be potentially traveling cross country. Like there are a lot of those elements that I think still are to be determined.
I thought all along we were going to have expanded playoffs here. And then
I know.
that would have been even better with, this frenetic finish that we're going to have with 60 games and then the number of teams and you get into the playoffs. And all right, so the teams, given, the divisions and the matchups here, Jeff, give me one or two favorites and one team that you think will be maybe a little bit of a surprise or spoiler.
Dodgers are definitely the favorite, I think, in all of baseball this year. I'm glad we're going to get to see Mookie Betts play in a Dodgers uniform because that would have been truly the most catastrophic trade in recent memory if they had given up Alex Verdugo and Jeter Downs and not gotten a single game out of Mookie Betts. In the American League, the New York Yankees are favorites, and the fact that James Paxton is back and healthy, the fact that Aaron Judge is seemingly healthy, Aaron Hicks, they're going to be getting back as well. Like, they look like they are going to be full Death Star operating.
And who would be the surprise
team? In terms
team?
of a surprise, I love the San Diego Padres individual talent, Dan. I think Fernando Tatis Jr. is an absolute superstar. I think Chris Paddock is going to take the leap this year. And the thing that the Padres have is the ability to go down into their farm system and maybe bring up guys who they wouldn't have in a normal year. When you have a short schedule like this, anything can happen. And a bad losing streak is the sort of thing that can wipe you off the map in terms of the playoffs, whereas an 8, 9, 10 game winning streak is sometimes maybe all you need to push you toward that. So a guy like Mackenzie Gore, who's probably the best pitching prospect in baseball and who may not have come up this year, is going to get a chance. And if he's up there in a rotation with Paddock, with Dinelson Lamet, Garrett Richards is back. Like, they have some arms there and they have the talent, I think, not to be a threat to the Dodgers necessarily, but to certainly play in that wild card field.
The Danettes have a question. Who wants to do the honors here, Paulie?
Dan, Jeff Passan's on Zoom, and Jeff has this lovely office behind him. Like most people on Zoom that we do interviews with, they have an office with their awards and their memorabilia and so forth, and a bookshelf. Are those fake books behind Jeff Passan?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I think Top Shelf is phony.
Can I show you guys something?
Here we go. Passan. Fake backdrop.
Hold on. Let me say this. Fake, but not so fake that you didn't recognize it immediately. You thought maybe it's kind of fake. No, it's awesome. And the people at ESPN have done a phenomenal job with it. However, I will say this, there will be a real backdrop coming in the near future. It's actually on the opposite. Yeah, breaking news, right? It's on the opposite side of the office right now.
Wait, what are you waiting for? You've been in quarantine for 3 months. You got a performance-enhancing backdrop here.
I'm waiting for the records that I have ordered to come in, because I don't lose the Rage Against the Machine and the Wu-Tang Clan and Weezer and Pink Floyd. I don't want to lose that in the backdrop. So I have actual vinyl albums being shipped to me right now.
We got to stay on this story. This is explosive. Bob Nightingale just called you a fraud.
I don't know how to respond to that, man.
Peter Gammons is laughing at you. Not with
I'm
you.
okay with that.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with that. Peter can do whatever he wants.
Okay. Nightingale, you got a problem with. Hey, I will say the hair looks great, and that's real.
That is real. That is very real.
So we assume.
So we think. That might be performance enhanced as well. You never know.
Well, I'm guilty of that as well, Jeff. Once again, stay positive, Jeff. Don't be a debunker here.
I debunk when I need to debunk, and I'm positive when I need to be positive. Right. And this is a positive thing right now. You guys give the Danettes credit. You guys scoped out the fake backdrop, called me out on it, and as always, I'm telling you what's real and what's not.
Thank you, Jeff. That's Jeff the Debunker Passan.